It's another Friday here in the city of Lagos, Nigeria, but more importantly, it is a special Friday for Christians across board, talking about Good Friday. So happy Good Friday to you out there and welcome to another edition of The Arena. I'm Samson Olede. Promises to be another exciting edition of the show. We'll definitely talk about Nigerian football, where the Nigerian Football Federation has reshuffled the technical crews across board, talking about the men's national teams. And when it comes to European football, Barcelona shockingly exiting the Europa League, as well as Leicester City making their first European semi-final appearance when it comes to European competitions. All of these and more we have on the show. Joining me on the show today is Rotimi Akindele, a sports journalist, and he joins me via phone call. Rotimi, good afternoon and welcome to the show.
Good afternoon, Samson.
Oh, I must say, happy Good Friday.
Yeah, we should the same. It's the Easter season. So,
yes.
I mean, it's only okay to tell our audience happy Easter celebrations.
Okay, let's delve into it. Football being the opium of the society, so we have to start with the round leather game. But charity, they say, begins at home. The home front, the Nigerian Football Federation, has reshuffled the technical crew across board. What do you make of the changes that some quarters calling for, the controversial appointments of Salisu Yusuf following his suspension for bribery, or his ban, for bribery? That also claims that these are the same old people. It's more like a cyclic, coaching crew rather than having fresh ideas on board.
Well, there's nothing wrong with recycling coaches, especially if you know what they can deliver on the regular, or no matter how long they've been in the system, especially when you're looking at it from the angle of developmental football. We've seen it across Europe, we've seen it almost everywhere, where you've got coaches that have served on the 17s, on the 15s,
16s, yes.
even in South America for 10, 15, 20 years. So recycling is not the problem.
Okay.
It's the way it's been structured. That's what I have some issues with. Salisu, yes, has probably served his time since he was indicted, and then he's been they're trying to way to put him back into the system, which they've done successfully, despite all the cries and all the agitations from media and probably some other quarters. The NFF has stuck to their guns as regards Salisu. So him getting another role is really not out of place as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
Because it actually served that ban. And then the challenge I have is, personally now, for a CHAN team, I don't think we need about 3-4 assistant coaches. We don't need a consortium of coaches for CHAN. We don't need a consortium of coaches for Olympics, Eagles. We don't need for under 20. Maybe at under 17, under 13, 15 level, yes.
Yeah.
But at those other levels, I don't think it's necessary. It looks like there's a compensation script somewhere. Oh, let's just compensate you with this, let's compensate you with this, and all that. That's what it's looking like. It's really looking out of place, just because we have a number of coaches that could have ordinarily stood alone.
Yes.
To handle some of these things. And then you bringing all of them together. The last time we did it, it cost us a World Cup ticket. So why are we doing it again?
Well, you mentioned CHAN. I mean, there's Kennedy Boboye assisting. You have Fidelis Lechuku, former MFM coach, now with Plateau United. You have Fatai Amau in the mix as well. And as you've said, why have that huge number of assistant coaches when it has to do with CHAN? Looking at the developmental stage now, you're under 17, for example. Unduka Agbade has been on the job for like forever. Do you think the likes of Aruna Ilerica, who are assisting, are capable hands within that sector?
Yeah, so from the under-17 side, like I said, I don't have a problem with the recycling. Unduka, we know Unduka has
always been
knack for discovering talent, for nurturing young lads. And he's done that over the years. I mean, he was the first captain Nigeria that won a cadet championship in 1985. So looks like some of the experience in Ghana over those years is what he's trying to infuse in some of those new players. And personally, I've had one-on-ones with Unduka. I've seen his training sessions. I've seen the way he tries to develop players. I mean, if he has that enabling environment, he's somebody that can churn out the next generation of Super Eagles for us. So, working with some of these other names you've mentioned, I think I can identify like another one or two,
So
amongst them. I feel they will do well.
they will do well.
Talking about Omoni, Arono, Ilerica, Yemi Daniel. Daniel, by the way, I know Yemi Daniel, so he's also a good lad. To have. He's also a young coach as well.
Yep.
And not forgetting the goalkeeper trainer, Isa as well. So I know some of these faces. Yes, I think they will deliver. And I don't have a problem with Unduka Obade, really. It's not an issue for me as far as I'm concerned. But like I said again, if we are going to go the Nigerian route, it looks like this is coming up as, let's compensate you because
People,
they are from this quarters, they are from that quarters. And that's what this is all looking like.
Okay, Rotimi, let's delve into the shores of Europe as quickly as we can. And it's all about the Europa League actions we saw last night, some shockers here and there. Let's start from Camp Nou. What exactly went wrong for Barcelona? Even the fans didn't turn up. You had over 30,000 Frankfurt fans in attendance, and that just probably spurred their team on, aside, the on-field theatrics as well, or rather antics. But what do you think went wrong for Barcelona last night?
I think Barcelona were complacent going into that game. Yes,
Okay.
they had gone to Germany, played out a one-all draw, and probably have felt when we get to Spain, we will finish this off. And besides, it was Frankfurt. It wasn't Bayern Munich. It wasn't Borussia Dortmund. It was Frankfurt. It wasn't even RB Leipzig. Those are probably the biggest teams in Germany on current form.
Yes.
Not an entrant Frankfurt. And so you can understand the start of the game, it was all the German side. And the fact that they were able to convert one or two chances early on showed their intent. And then before Barca could flip it and then say, guys, looks like you guys are not here to joke. It was late and all of that. They had gotten the goals they needed. They had stopped their game plan. And then by the time it was 3-0, hey, let's see if we can push for a comeback and all of that. But it didn't happen. So I felt Barcelona were complacent and they paid dearly for that. And now, the way they've been encouraging themselves, about Barcelona, that this is the only trophy that
they could have won
in our cabinet. They probably will have to wait again, or maybe not even want to play Europa League again. But they had a good chance, and they blew it all by themselves.
Let's still stick with the Europa League. Rotimi, we had action last night. Another shocking result, West Ham away from home. 3-0 that ended in favor of West Ham. The performance, the goals, against a Lyon side, what went wrong? It's shocking, really.
Well, when we try to dissect, start asking what went wrong, I think West Ham was just brilliant on the night. Remember from the first leg last week when it ended 1-1 at the London Stadium?
Yes, the Olympic
West Ham actually did get a red card and then scored after getting a red card. That's to show you they were the better side, overall, over the two legs. And they showed that again in France. I was telling a friend last night while we were watching, I'm like, with all of this home support, with all of this flares, understand the loud noise in France, David Moyes could still put up a team that were not, bamboozled with whatever they were seeing. They just wanted to play football and qualify. They just stuck to their game plan and then executed it rightly. And that was what West Ham did all the night. It wasn't about what happened to Lyon. I felt over two legs, West Ham were the better side. And don't forget, it's not like it's a fluke. They've had this form going for them almost all through the season. Yes, they did suffer a bit of a downturn, within the last couple of weeks. But it looks like they've picked up again. Now, Samson, they have a chance of playing in the Champions League next season.
Exactly.
And that means win your next 3 games. If they go on to play, I think they play Leipzig next.
They're playing Frankfurt in the semi-finals.
They play Frankfurt next. And
Frankfurt.
They stand a good chance of going past Frankfurt. It's a 50-50. If they go past Frankfurt, that means West Ham United might qualify for their first European Cup final in the long run. And if they win that, they play in the Champions League next season. That's more money for the owners. That's more money for the players. That's more money or more buzz around the London Stadium, which the owners have always wanted. So I think they deserved it. It wasn't about what went wrong with Lyon. Lyon had not had that sort of season. That you wanted, especially if you look at their run in the French League. It's not like they've been brilliant that way. So I think West Ham were just better over two legs.
Talking about the Europa Conference League, you have the semi-final appearance. It's Feyenoord against Olympique Marseille, and the other semi-final, as you've heard us say earlier, has to be AS Roma, coached by Jose Mourinho, against Leicester City. I'm sure that would set up for a great viewing. Now let's preview weekend matches coming up, this weekend. And quickly, it has to be about the top 4 race at this point in time. It's guaranteed that the top 2 will be between Manchester City and Liverpool. Who gets what is what we do not know, but the top 4 race is heating up, and Arsenal will be away at St. Mary's Stadium against Southampton. Rotimi, as quickly as we can, what do you make of that match? Arsenal have lost 2 successive matches. There was the Crystal Palace drubbing. There was the shock home loss to Brighton last weekend. Now, this is the 3rd match. It's away at Southampton, a very difficult ground.
A difficult ground, no doubt. But then they can actually take a cue from our Chelsea wanted to respond last weekend, and then went to the St. Mary's and scored 6. Arsenal needs to respond. They blew their chances against Crystal Palace. Didn't come to the party against Brighton and Hove Albion at home. Now they're going away. Everybody has suddenly changed the tone from, Arsenal will qualify for the top 4. It's looking like Spurs.
Advantage
I think
Spurs.
Arsenal have to respond. They know they have to respond. Southampton as well will also be looking at responding following that dropping.
Against Chelsea, 6-0.
Back-to-back home games. But then again, on paper, Chelsea is a bigger side than Southampton. Arsenal, in terms of on paper, like I said, are a bigger side than Southampton. So even if they go on to lose at home, it might not really be a major headline. But if Southampton should go on to beat Arsenal tomorrow, then they probably will have to just forget about top 4. Yes, they can console themselves by saying that we've qualified, we're back in Europe, maybe in the Europa League and all of that. But if they want to keep that top 4 slot, they all have to come to the top from Lacazette, looking to find goals from Bukayo Saka, who also needs to get something
off it.
Done on the night, it's in the afternoon. Yeah, that's the word. I feel Arsenal know they have to respond. If this is a good time to play Southampton, I don't think so. But I think it's going to be a tough game. And I see Arsenal still struggling in that fixture tomorrow.